Okay, Steve has joined now as well. Okay, maybe we could start now. It's already 10 minutes past half past. So I'll just introduce myself and my colleague next to me. My name is Katerina. I work for Solved, and I work here as a business development manager, but I do also a lot of marketing related issues and training as well. And my colleague Veronica.
Good morning, everybody. And yeah, I'm a coordinator in Solved.
Yes, very good to have you all here and to give you a bit more information and explain what is Solved and how you can use it to help you get more work and in general understand how to work on Solved. Maybe just very quickly, if you just introduce yourself. If we start, for example, from Rita.
So good morning, I'm Rita. I also work for Solved as a coordinator. So this is my first time this induction or training. So I'm just here to see how this all works.
Yes, Rita has also started here recently and is learning about the platform. Christopher? Or I can.
Yes, I can introduce myself. Mm-hmm. So my name is Christopher. I'm working in Austria at a company who builds self-sufficient, fully ecological homes, and we are very interested in the platform. And I would like to know how it works. And because we're new, I signed up last week.
Yeah, wonderful. And Leah?
Hi, this is Leah. I'm a private entrepreneur, and I've been involved in the Solved community of experts for about 2 years now, working with other Solved experts in a few projects. And I'm just keen to know what the new developed advanced platform or system can offer. So am I in the right place in the right time, or are you just going to introduce the basic elements of the Solved platform, which I know already?
Yeah, we are also going to, we're going to start by introducing the very basic elements and how to mobilize teams. And I will tell a little bit more about what's coming up, in the next, in 6 months, and how things are going to change a little bit. But right now, especially the expert marketplace works the way that you also know of it. At the end, I will also talk about the white label solution, and we will have one of our clients joining from Vienna, from the United Smart Cities, because he is going to give an example, or basically it's our case study, tell how they are using the white label solution for their purpose.
Okay.
So maybe it might be interesting for you to stay on, for the end, but as you wish. I will start with expert marketplace in general, then how to mobilize teams and how to hire through Solved, and then how to work on Solved. So I think.
Okay. In that case, if you don't mind, I will sort of sign up, because I know basically how it works, because we have formed teams and carried out a few projects. And I will be glad to join a presentation where we go a little bit deeper in the new system and
yes. Of course, and maybe if you would like to rejoin, if you would like to rejoin in about 15 to 20 minutes, just to hear about the example.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
You can just check in about 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So I will just stay here, but sort of passively won't comment. Yeah. Okay.
That's great. Okay.
I'll stick around.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Steve.
Thanks.
Hi, Steve Kinahan, joining from Australia, based in Canberra. Most of my work is in Southeast Asia, mostly Indonesia, but increasingly in Malaysia and Vietnam. So I was just interested in Solve to connect with other people looking for subcontractors in consultancy jobs in that area. Most of my work is with cities and companies on, well, emissions reductions, greenhouse gas emission reductions. Thank you.
Thanks. And I guess we have Johnny. John?
Hi. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Yeah, this usually never works. I'm a researcher at Åbo Academy, and I'm actually here to hear a bit about how this Solve works, because I've been part of the network for a couple of years, I think, but very passive, so I haven't really utilized the potential. I would like to do that.
So you're a researcher at which academy?
Åbo Academy.
Okay. Åbo.
University in Turku.
Great.
Finland.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So, so yes, then let's start. Starting just explaining about the marketplace. So, what is Solve for, and what it is all about? I'm going to share my screen. Thank you. Can you now all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, in general, Solve is an expert marketplace for green economy, clean tech, and sustainability. What that really means is that we are a group of people, a community, who all want to work on projects that have some kind of a positive impact on the world and on the environment. Our ideology right in the beginning of Solve is that the environmental challenges that we solve, they're extremely complex, and they can't really be solved with any one person or one company, but it requires a very holistic approach and different perspectives. Take it, you know, from energy perspective, water perspective, waste perspective, things like circular economy and smart cities. They all require a very multidisciplinary approach and require teams that consist of people with expertise in various disciplines. This is the idea of where we started and how we still think, and why we still put together flash teams to solve complex problems. What we focus on is the early stages of the projects. Typically, it would be the design phase, but we also put teams together for different kind of projects as well that come for example, planning phases and even implementation. So about the marketplace, if you log in the way that you normally do, you either sign up, all of you probably have already, you log in here, you get directly into your own project. When you choose experts, you see our marketplace. That's what we call it. This is basically also, you can call it a catalog of people. At the moment, we have a bit over 3,000 experts. There are listed experts, but there are also unlisted experts. That's one of the reasons, like, these are all the listed experts that we have. There are unlisted experts, for example, some people who do not want to be to have a public profile, but Solved, of course, we have our admin interface where we then see and have all the experts there. But what you can see here in previews, it's a part of it. So anybody who feels like they're able to, contribute and able to provide their expertise and has, either the ability to work extra, or if they're a consultant or a freelancer, they're able to sign up and just create a profile, and this way just be there available for projects and work. Also, anybody is able to invite new experts just by clicking here. So if you have friends or colleagues who you think would be suitable, it's very easy to invite new experts right here. And you can also invite multiple experts at the same time. Here we use hashtags, and this is how it's very easy to filter through. We have 665 people who wrote environment. That's great. Whenever you sign up, it is very important that your profile is fairly diverse and that it has information. Because when we search for experts, we use keywords, and that's how you're being matched. So it's important that you use relevant hashtags and that you also write in your bio everything that you think might be relevant and steer you to the projects that you want. Of course, when you yourself look at different expert profiles and somebody's interesting, you can immediately start chatting with this person right here. This is in alphabetical order, so apologies for the view always being with the A. Is there any questions about this part, about the expert marketplace itself and how the experts are presented and how they're found? Do you have any questions? Okay.
I actually have one question.
Yeah.
Have you somehow kind of, is there some kind of algorithm behind if I would have a project on, say, I don't know, green energy in Arctic conditions, then does your system suggest someone to that, or is it just you need to find it yourself?
Yeah. That is a very good question, and it leads me to the next topic, which is mobilizing teams and hiring through Solved. So I'll just start by explaining, and this will come out. You will get the answer. Yeah. So the way that the teams are currently mobilized happens in two ways. So first one is posting a project on the platform. So a client typically would post a project to suggest a project, right? Here, my view says create a project, but for anyone who's not a super admin or would say suggest a project. So in this case, the client would write the project name, a short description about it, and also a brief project summary. Then there's a privacy mode, confidential or private. Confidential means that this is a purely this client related project. Nobody else can see it. Only people involved in it can see it. A private mode means that everybody on the platform can see it. This is very often partially public project, or maybe if not a public project, a project that is also not confidential and may be interested in having other contributors than just experts. Here are the same tags. And this is where, then they submit the project. When the project is submitted, then people get notifications. So then our community would get a notification about a new project being created. And there is a possibility for everyone to express their interest in the project. So anybody who's interested in the project would press on a button. Again, here I don't have it just because I'm the super admin, but you would have a button that says, express your interest. And I'll just quickly show you an example how it would. Here, this is an example. This is what usually a person, the project owner, would get this kind of a message. This is an automated message basically that says, "Hi, I'm interested in joining the project Zero Island. Thanks for considering me as part of the team." And this is where the project owner is able to start discussing and asking for more information, providing a better profile, providing potentially a CV. So this is one part of it. And the second part of it is the help of Solved staff. So whenever a project is posted on Solved, we immediately start looking for relevant experts. And the way that Solved has worked in the past is that it was only invitations only. And all the people who have worked here, especially the founders, were really personally also knew a lot of the experts. Nowadays, as our expert community is growing, of course, we don't know everybody personally. And we're looking for different ways now to verify the experts as well. But so far, one of the reasons why all of our experts eventually do get verified is because of this manual process, how we select them. So we use hashtags, we use keywords. This is the reason why I asked I always ask everybody to write really extensive profiles. And then, of course, when we find experts that look relevant, then we contact them and we discuss further. We ask them to send us CVs and so forth, and we look for recommendations as well. So these are the two ways. So when we have a certain amount of experts, a list of experts that we, for example, feel that are relevant, and then combine with the experts that have by themselves expressed interest in the project, then it is up to the client to select the final experts. Typically, if somebody posts a project, we tend to respond or we react to the project within 24 hours. But of course, it takes time, like it could take up to 72 hours to really put together and mobilize, a really relevant team. And then at the end, it is always the client who chooses the final team. And this is going to be changed. Well, not fully, but there will be changes in 6 months. We are currently working on an expert matching algorithm that is going to do precisely what you've just asked. It is going to match the experts based on their profiles. So this will, of course, take off a lot of work from us, from the core team, so we can also then focus more on verifications and validating the experts rather than searching for them. So this is coming up. And the way that the hiring then happens is at this moment. So when we have a team that we have proposed together with those that have expressed interest by themselves, and when the client has chosen the expert team, then we Solvd creates agreements with each team member. Typically, we would have clients that have either a standing agreement. This would be some kind of a roster agreement, or then we would have a client who has asked for a specific just for one project. And then we separately agree with each expert. Typically, it always works based on the hourly or daily rates of the experts. And this is also something that is going to change at the same time alongside as we develop the expert matching algorithm. The new change will also be digital transactions. So right now we do all the contracting. As soon as the team has been selected, we send out the contracts to the experts. But this will also change in the future, and everything is going to be done directly on the platform digitally. Okay. Are there any questions after this? Good. So then I am going to show how we work on Solvd. I will show you a project that has already been fairly public. We are creating, for example, a zero island near Sweden, Neste being our main client. And here is how we work on the platform. Here are all of the people who are involved. Typically, we have several experts, as I mentioned, as a holistic team, and we also have contributors. There are, I guess, 3 ways how you can participate in a project. So first is as an expert, just as a contracted expert. So as a contracted expert, you have very clear tasks, you have clear assignments, targets, just as any consulting or work would be. And then in addition to the experts who are actually running and coordinating the projects, there are also contributors. And contributors are usually people who may have some interest in selling or providing their own services and products for the future, for the implementation of the project. As I already mentioned, very often we have projects that focus very much on the design phase. So we design projects in order for them to be as sustainable and clean as possible. So in this case, often those individuals who have certain products and who have certain services that they want to add in the implementation phase, they often like to participate as contributors and provide, information about their services and products that we consider in our design phase, and potentially also design a concept that would include solutions such as theirs. And then there are also possibilities to just be an observer if it is a public project, of course. So observers may be people who are just interested in the topic in general, potentially students who would be interested to contribute in a way of a crowdsourcing exercise, just to throw in ideas. So in this, and this is a space that brings everybody together. So this would also bring the client himself together, and also potentially any other stakeholders that are needed. Here we have, in one project space, our client, the island owners, of course, us, as well as a marketing agency, as well as 3 experts who work on different topics, examine this island from different perspectives, and how to make it zero. Then we also have people who may have interesting solutions and who are basically providing ideas on how to make this island zero, also using their solutions. So this is, in general, the idea of bringing everyone together in one space. It is very easy to invite new people to this project. You just do this and add. You can also write a message and so forth. This is just a very simple communication channel, as it would be in a Facebook group. You can search by posts, you can search by files, and you can also create events inside the project space. When you write posts, you can do an event like this, add a file or post. We also use hashtags, so then it is easier to look for example, everything related to food waste. Then you can see what people have wrote. Packaging and food waste together. So this, I would say, is a very intuitive and easy way to work on the platform. You can always see the information about the about the project itself. So this, I guess, would conclude the project, or working on inside a project. Are there any questions regarding to this?
Christopher here, I have a question. Your project seemed to be, or the project that you're showing, is that mostly like an international team working on a local subject, or what's your experience with that? Because I mean, we have projects going on here in Lower Austria, and if I post a project, I mean, sometimes maybe you want to also have the experts around, or is it all online?
Yes, of course.
How is it really working?
Okay, no. It's not all online. So of course, our platform, mainly it is, well, it's not mainly, but it is for finding the right people, right? And this project space that you're creating when you're looking for people, it is just a very easy way to get everyone in one space. And yes, a lot of our teams are international, working on local issues or international issues. It depends very much. So our purpose is to really find the best people around. In this case, we have a very big international client who is a Finnish client, but a very big one, international and known internationally. And they are looking for, it is part of their campaign, right? So they are looking to create a zero island in Sweden. And there is no specific reason, for example, why it is Sweden. So it is just something that they wanted to do as part of a marketing campaign. And in this case, we have experts from Sweden who know the subject, who know the area, who understand Swedish solutions. Then we have a marketing agency from Finland. Then we also have experts. We have one Australian expert here. And I think that in this case, where is Isabel from? She's from Germany. So we have typically a pretty international team, but it is definitely not always the case. And eventually this platform and working on this platform, it is supposed to be a supporting mechanism to help, coordinate the project. By no means it is something that people have to use. It is something that will help you work together in a team that isn't located in the same place. For example, Karina, she's from Sweden, and also Anna is from Sweden, but they're from different places. She lives in Stockholm and she lives in Gothenburg. So even for them, this is certainly a much easier way to work together. And yet they have several times been on the island. They have visited the island. We have also meetings with our client and with the marketing agency every other week. So certainly it is a support system for everything else. So it doesn't replace anything else except emails, maybe. Does this answer your question?
Yes, so just to sum it up, so the Solved is primarily a coordination and a communication platform.
Solved is primarily an expert sourcing platform.
Okay.
And it also allows you to work and communicate with the experts that you have found. So Solved is primarily to find the right experts for your projects, and it also allows you to work on these projects inside the platform.
Okay.
Let's say if you have several projects on that for which you have found people through Solved. So you would have, just like I have here, let's say you would have 4 projects. It would be easier for you to coordinate because, in this one project, you would have a team of 5 people, everybody from Austria. In the second project, you would have, a team that consists of like 3 Solved experts who are from 3 different countries. It consists of 2 of your own people from your company and maybe some stakeholders from Austria. Then, a third project would consist of completely different team compositions. So in this case, it just helps you coordinate all your projects and have them all in one place and organize them well with different team compositions.
Okay, So just one additional question.
Yeah.
So I see what the platform is for, but I see what the platform is also not for. So there's no project management or it's no project management tool. And from my point of view, is there any
no
idea how you want to expand it to make it also a project management tool?
No, we don't really want to make it a project management tool. So a project management tool would require it. Project management tools are typically quite complex, and then they have CRM systems and so forth. So we are definitely working on improving several things, and but I don't think that this is something that we are really pursuing to go into the project management. What we are pursuing is to provide or enable more integrations into our platform. So in that sense, if somebody is using a project management tool, that it would be easily integrated, but this is something that we're looking into in the future. But right now it is for finding the right experts and for coordinating with them. And if you use Solved a lot for finding the right experts, then in that case, it becomes very useful to have just different workspaces with different teams all in one place. But certainly you are right that this is not a project management tool, and it does not have a CRM system per se.
Thank you.
Okay. If there are no other questions regarding this, I think we can move to the white label solution. I will give you 3 examples of our public clients with their public platforms, and then my colleague Lucas from United Smart Cities is going to give you an example and tell how he is using, or how United Smart Cities are using Solved's white label solution for their needs. So as I just explained to you, our marketplace and how we started, basically wanting to collect people working on positive impact all in one place, and just have this hub of expertise and help them find each other and help clients find the right people and match so that they can create better things together. And at some point, because we did have these coordination tools and people worked on our platform, what happened is that we got some positive feedback also when it came to working and coordinating projects. So at some point we decided that it would be interesting to just let our technology, to open up our technology and let others use our technology to build their own marketplaces. And not just marketplaces, their own communities online, their own ecosystems online. There are different ways that this is now possible. But just to start, for example, with the Smart and Clean Solutions platform. This looks pretty much the same, right, as ours. If you look at how it is, this is the main Solved marketplace. But then now we have clients who are using our technology to create their own platforms. And it looks like it's theirs. So if I log in, I come to projects that I participate in. And here are the rest of the projects then. So this is a client who isn't working just on one project on Solved or 2 projects and looking for experts from Solved and bringing his own community into one project. But this is a client who has built his own ecosystem, his own community online. So this is how their ecosystem looks like. These are the profiles of their own people.
Mm-hmm.
And this is completely theirs, fully their own ecosystem. And it works and looks basically the same, but it's in their color, in their colors, in their brands, and the same ways people can invite, you know, experts themselves. This is how the hashtag works. They don't have any projects here, I mean organizations, but and these are their projects. And if I look at one of mine, which is a public, this is a Smart and Clean food project. This is a really nice project as well, and it was a public project. So I will explain to you how they used the same system. So what they did is they created a Facebook campaign asking for innovative ideas in food technology, in food, in sustainable food, in urban food, and anybody who may have had an idea should sign in to their platform and join this project. And so these are most people who have signed up through Facebook. These are people from different. This is a co-founder of Helsiani. This is a really great company. They grow. You can grow mushrooms from coffee beans. So then there's also, you know, Fazer, the Finnish chocolate. So everybody working in food industry who may have something to contribute to. So this was more or less a crowdsourcing exercise, and that later on became a bigger project. So there are different ways how you can really get people to work on these projects and work with you. But in any case, and of course there is an admin. I guess at this point I'm not going to go into details, but this is basically the admin and people who are managing their own platforms. They have absolutely full own admin rights. So they are the ones who manage everything. They are the ones who create their own projects, who give access or not give access to certain people, and so forth. The same goes for Nordic for Innovation Center. Here are their projects. And you can see how they have categorized. So there are different ways how you can create on categories. You know, these are the projects, these are all these different cases that they have. These are different events that they have. These are different tools. This is all customizable. You can see that, for example, Smart and Clean, they did not create any categories. These are just the typical ones, the explore ones, and then your personal. But then here they have created different categories. Then there's also organizations. Well, here they have, I guess, only one organization. But now if we go to the USC marketplace, and Lucas is going to give a better explanation and more thorough explanation how they are using Solved's white label solution for them. So Lucas?
Yes.
Hello
from my side. So yeah, we are United Smart Cities. United Smart Cities is an international or global UN program supporting smart cities, or cities in general, all over the world. It was established 3 years ago by the UNECE, sitting in Geneva, and the OIER, Organization for International Economic Relations, based in Vienna, with the goal to support the SDG 11, but as an overall holistic approach to support all 17 SDGs. What is our aim? Our aim is to implement urban projects, especially in developing countries and small and medium-sized cities. And what we want to do is we want to bring together various stakeholders like cities with their projects, solution providers, which means the industry, a private sector, experts in terms of smart cities or urban industry infrastructure, and the UN, as well as what we learned out of our experience is the most important issue for a lot of cities is the finance. So all these key players we bring together to implement projects. So we don't want to have plans and structure plans about or ideas. We really focus on the implementation and the realization of these ideas in the end. And why we use the marketplace is because we have a virtual platform here to bring together or to connect all of these stakeholders and get to and match make project solutions and projects with private sector solutions to have like this individual match in first handed, and then go on to the project and force the collaboration between the parties. And how the marketplace supports us, it's we can use it as a first step in our process, as we have a KPI analysis, a standardized KPI analysis, which we are doing for the United Nations Secretary General Office in New York, and to have a standard over cities. Because Vienna has their own ranking, Singapore does, and the same for Dubai, and everybody's ranking themselves in the highest position. So what we have is a standard in terms of economy, society, and environment. And there are, out of these analysis, there are different key activities we support and put on a marketplace in terms of projects. And we will develop in the next 2 weeks, I guess it's finished, that you have different sectors on the marketplace, on our USC marketplace, to put your project in, which can be a project idea, a partner looking phase, investor looking phase, implementation phase, or mentoring phase, where you as a city of Vienna or city of Oulu in Finland can be on the marketplace, position a finished project, and support other cities around which may have the same issue and the same setup for their projects, and don't have to invent the wheel again. And this is why we have the marketplace, and the mix of private sector solutions and cities is very broad, because we want to have local solutions as well as global and international players and startups, because they really understand the local situation to work on. And the marketplace supports in terms of connecting these, getting in touch, having a first discussion, developing on something. And then we also have a physical place where these teams can sit together and really develop and implement the projects. And this is what we want to bring together, and especially for the UN, like UNECE, UNIDO, UNDP, which will use the tool as well to put in their experts and to get more private sector involvement from the UN side, because that's one of the main or the most important doings they have for the next 5 years in terms to fulfill the SDGs. And that's why we use the Marketplace of Solved as a white label solution for United Smart Cities.
Great. Thank you very much. And I also want to just let you know that, for example, if you are participating in different kind of platforms that are linked to Solved, something that is also our ecosystem clients have appreciated is that they would also, in addition to their own ecosystem, they do have always the access also to the Solved expertise pool. And so if you're in 2 different platforms, or if you're 4 different platforms, or let's say if you are in all the different platforms like I am, it's easy to switch the platform. If you can see now on the left upper corner, and basically all the platforms that you're in, you just switch through them very easily. Yeah. So
hey, I would have a question regarding these platforms.
Yes, please.
If I may.
Yeah.
First of all,
wait, I can't see who is talking right now.
Johnny.
John. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm wondering what's the cost of these platforms if I would build one myself? Because I see that, I mean, at least for the research community, one of these platforms would be really good.
So there is a standard. It depends for public entities. There is a standard of 998 euros per month, and for private sector companies, it's 1,290. However, we do have different kind of partnership models as well, and it depends very much. So we have standard prices, but depending on how we are able to negotiate it, some of our clients have different pricing models.
Yeah, okay. But that involves only the kind of technical platform, or
it involves a technical platform, but also it involves all the setup, all the induction, because especially in the beginning. So for example, first month is always free, because first month you set everything, you bring your ecosystem or your people into the platform. So typically it depends very much, so how long it takes, but maybe 1 to 2 months it's free of charge. So it also includes us training all of you, and it also includes us, especially in the beginning, creating these categories with you, showing you, choosing how you want to facilitate it, choosing how you want to administrate it. If you do want to administrate it 100%, which is typically how it is, then we provide you also admin training, because admin training, of course, includes different things than what I'm just showing you right now. So yes, it does include, it's not just the platform, but it's also all the induction, setting up, and training. And then also for the future, we do provide, this includes always a 5-hour per month facilitation support. So anything that basically that you need, with regards to the platform itself and potential facilitation needs, there is a certain amount of hours that is included per month.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have, anybody else has any questions with regards to the white label?
Yes, Christopher here. I have a question. So do I need an extra login for every other platform, or is that like one login for all?
It's one login for all.
Okay. And then another question is the possibility that I post a project on my own platform and also on Solved, so that my project is like cross-linked?
If you would like to, yes. If you would like to, then yes. Because, for example, if you have your own platform where you have your own, what's it called? Like within your own ecosystem, right? So this is where you might want to collect your own people inside this project. However, if this project is, a project that you would like to also look for Solved experts, then certainly it is possible to link them. We have done that, for example, also with United Smart Cities, that some projects are also unsold.
Thank you.
Great. Anyone else? I wonder if Leah had date for this part.
Yes, I've been following
Okay.
this introduction and presentation. Very interesting. This is new stuff to the original one.
Yeah.
I have a question to Lucas. He was telling about their system. Is Lucas still around?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Do you also have tourism development projects? Because I'm an expert in responsible development, so I'd be interested in those sort of projects if you have any.
Yeah. So what we mainly focus on humanitarian projects regarding healthcare, education, infrastructure, mobility, energy, and so on. But we more and more get the request to and also projects to add from the tourism side, and especially in Austria, some Spanish cities, as well as some international cities, requested to share their tourism projects, sustainable tourism projects, and we will definitely position them on the marketplace as well.
Thank you, Lucas. Okay. Well, this was everything that was included in this kind of a very overview overall SOLVD webinar. And if you do have any questions, either if you still have any question now, I think to be a full hour, we have 4 more minutes because we started a bit late. Otherwise, I would love to hear your feedback. I will send you some like a small survey, and please do pose any questions that may come up. Everything you ask also helps me and helps us to develop the right kind of solutions for our clients' needs or experts' needs.
Okay.
So any other questions, or what did you think?
Christopher here again. I have another question. So how is it with the support of people with financial support? So do you also only have like experts in a certain kind of field for solutions, or do you also have experts on financing? Maybe say I have a project, but I don't know how to finance that. Is that also part of the platform?
In that sense, yes. It doesn't mean that we have the financiers, but it means we have people who may help you find them. Yeah, we do have some investors as well on our platform, and actually, just now one that I met in Vienna last week on African projects. But certainly, you should look for browse through the expert marketplace as well for that, but merely, I'd say at this moment, it will be people who would be able to find financiers. We have even carried out a project like this before.
Because I think that's like those people are more important to find me, or to have to know people who find the financiers, because in my opinion, the most projects we've done, you either have like a public financier, but private ones are really, I would say, hard to get because you don't have like a big revenue stream to offer.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to have the people who know financiers that are interested in sustainable projects.
I can even give you an example of a project that we have done, and specifically that. So, for example, in Myanmar, there was an idea of a project, waste management project, or actually waste to energy project. So there are 2 huge landfills in Myanmar, and there was an idea like what can be done with these 2 landfills, and potentially the waste there could be then used for a waste to energy plant. And it's Myanmar, so there we needed to look for both public financiers and private financiers. So in this case, we had a very good and very experienced expert who worked on mapping out, like doing a study, mapping out all different public financing possibilities and all private financing possibilities. And this was basically the assignment that he carried out. So yes, this is certainly something that we have also done before. But it's a very good point that you make, and it's probably something that we could also focus on when we grow our community of experts, to have more of these kind of professionals.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate very much that you came and participated and listened and asked questions. And I, like I said, I hope that you will find this useful. And please let me know, or do contact me if you have any further questions, if you would like to set up projects, and or if you're interested in the white label solution. Thank you very much. I wish you a really nice day.
Thank you, Katja. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Right. First one done.
Yeah.
And one more.
Yeah, in the evening, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I will say thank you to Lucas.
Yeah, it was really good that we have somebody in there.
So it was great.